I mean, you know, I'm walking down 7th Street, and I mean, you know, the guy just got here from Shanghai and whatnot won't speak to me or whatever. Speaks to the white guy that passes by and don't speak to me, and so I get an attitude. Now, what am I basing this on? Is there any reason why this person should stop what they're doing and pay attention to me? Give me one logical reason. Anybody in here? Oh, you have a reason? Speak up.
What I think, as a white person, I'm drawn to black people is the truth and the justice and the stuff I don't see.
Well, wait a minute. Slow down. You said you're a what?
A white lady.
No, but you said you are drawn.
I feel more drawn to the African American culture.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's take one thing at a time. You are drawn to the African American culture.
Right.
Okay. Oh, put a period behind that.
Okay.
We're in court.
Okay.
The lady says she's drawn to African American culture. Put that in the record. Now, this is the way we do it. This is codification. So we get to the truth. And we get to the reasons why things happen. You have to do it step by step. That's why I slowed the gentleman down back there who was asking questions, and he started answering his own questions, which is the way you do it. You know, nothing better than answering your own questions, right? You are drawn to African American culture. Now, what's the logical question? What? Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Wait, hold it. The logical question is, what is African American culture? That's the way they do it in court. F. Lee Bailey.
Well, what I'm drawn to, like I listen to WOL and Joe Madison, and I mean, that's the only radio station that tells the truth about anything. I mean, a lot of us white people are sick of...
Well, wait a minute. You're moving too fast. You listen to WOL.
Right.
In order to do what?
To hear the truth.
Oh, you get the truth from WOL.
Right.
I'm quite sure Mrs. Kathy Hughes would be glad to hear that. Right, you know. Now, the truth about what?
About the way the world works, about white supremacy.
About white supremacy.
Right.
You get the truth on WOL about white supremacy, and that's a part of African American culture, is that African American culture includes talking about and telling the truth about white supremacy. That's why you are drawn to it, correct?
Right.
Is that analysis correct?
Right.
So far, so good. Continue.
Well, you were saying that what would people be drawn to in the black culture, and I think what we're drawn to is a sense of humility that we don't see in the white culture, a sense of love.
Well, wait a minute. You're moving too fast. You pick up a sense of what?
Humility.
Humility. From whom?
Well, I just think black people are more humble than white people.
Wait a minute, hold it. Black people are more humble than white people. Now, you're speaking for the all-time record now. Remember, words are important. Particularly, wait a minute, are you a white person?
Yes.
Okay. From a white person, words are important.
Right.
Particularly in a forum like this.
Right.
Where there are a lot of non-white people.
Right.
Who give high regard to what a white person says, including me. That's why it's important that you slow down, because I'm a little retarded. Back of the bus, bottom of the boat, retarded. Okay? This is the truth. Okay? So, repeat what you said last if you can remember it.
Well, I just feel the black people in this country have a beautiful way about them. It seems like it's less, arrogant than white people.
Less arrogance.
Right.
Now, why do you think this is? Because it's been my experience that black people don't have any problem being arrogant with each other.
Oh.
Okay? Have you ever noticed that?
No.
You haven't seen black people around each other?
Not when I wasn't there. I mean.
Oh. That might be significant.
Oh.
In other words, the fact that you are around black people sometimes And black people during that time are humble and full of humility. Is that correct? And not arrogant. You know what? Logically speaking, your presence might have something to do with that.
But I'm that way too. I mean, I don't have any self-confidence, so I mean, I kind of identify on a personal level. I mean,
you mean what?
Well, I think those of us who were, like I had a kind of a traumatic childhood, so I kind of identify with people who've been through trauma.
Okay, what trauma did you go through if you are at liberty to tell?
Well, it was just kind of abuse.
Oh, abused by another white person?
Right.
So then, did you discover that being among black people you were less abused or something?
Well, I felt some kind of soulmate feeling like they know what it's like to be abused in the culture versus in a personal level.
And then what did happen? What's the bottom line of the result of all of this, these experiences that you have?
Well, I think I'm seeing more and more white people drawn to the African American people because we feel disenfranchised. Democrats, the election was stolen from us, and we're kind of looking to the black community to lead us. How do we fight this horrible Ashcroft and Bush? I mean, we're terrified of them too, and I feel like we have a lot to learn from people who, have more experience fighting for civil rights, because now our civil rights are getting taken away.
Oh, our. Now, who is our?
Democrats, anyone who's not in line with Ashcroft, Bush, Colin Powell, that whole mentality.
Let's think in this vein. I think I know where you're going. And it's, it has a certain amount of logic to it so far. But you see, there was a thing called the, Civil War.
Right.
In which white people slaughtered each other by the thousands. Correct?
Right.
Right over here at Antietam, 10,000 people, all white, slaughtered each other in one day. Back in a time when there were very few people to slaughter. 10,000 in one morning in Antietam, according to history books. White people killing each other in a so-called civilized war.
Hmm.
Over what? Over who's going to be in charge of the black people. Now, we might be sliding into another history lesson right in this room. That might be your dilemma. That's just a guess, because I have to go in that direction. Because from my viewpoint, that might be really where you are. You feel left out of some of the gains. Like in organized crime, you ever see the movie The Godfather?
No.
Well, that's a sort of a study in white supremacy, based on the old Roman Empire.
But I don't want to be. I'd rather be left out of dishonesty and meanness, and I'd rather be down with the people who are at least good. Why would I?
Wait a minute. You want to be down?
Mean.
Wait a minute. And we're not going to stay here and just talk about this too, because we're going to move on some things. But I think some of the people in here do want to hear some of this, because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be dealing with people just like the lady back there. She is still a member, maybe not in good standing, of the greatest force on this planet in the form of people. Don't forget that. This lady says she was white. You might say that don't mean nothing to you. You know that you are not telling the truth when you say that. She's a member of an organized force. Or she's at least associated with it, even though she's saying that she wants to get disassociated with it. But what did I say at the beginning of this talk? The white people who don't believe in racism are not among the smartest. which means that they won't know how to deal with it either. The lady has said, didn't you say that you came in here to try to learn something? I'm quite sure
right.
you're here for a reason.
Right.
Is that the reason?
Yeah.
You didn't exactly say that, but I help you along.
Right.
I have to remember that.
Right.
Okay? But the best people to learn from are the people that you're running from. Because that's where the work has to be done. See, you might can solve your individual problem. And at some point, one way that you may do it is hook up with somebody non-white in a sexual way.
I'd like that.
You like that? I thought you would.
I mean,
now, according to the code, okay, be quiet, everybody. Everybody be calm. According to counter-racist logic, if you, or if you have ever, or if you do, or if you're planning on it, having sexual intercourse or engaging in any kind of sexual play with a non-white person anywhere on this planet during the existence of white supremacy, you are not running away from what it is you say you're trying to get away from. You have wholesalely, in the worst way, taken a person who is already a victim and victimized that person to the nth degree. There is no act that you can commit that's worse than that. The black person would be better off if you put a gun to their head and killed them, because at least that would send a message to the rest of them to stay alert. If you do this sexual thing, it will put the rest of them to sleep, and they will go further into the confusion. And that has been proven over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm duty bound to tell you, hold it, this is science. I'm duty bound to tell you this because this is truth. Now, you may emotionally have this inclination. You have to kill it.
Well, I'm married to a white man, but I'm just saying, I find black men very attractive, too.
Yes, I can understand that. This happens all down through history. White men have it more than you. Probably including the one that you have, if he ever went to Nam or someplace.
Yeah, he was.
He's got a long record. You say yes?
He was in Vietnam.
He was in Vietnam.
Right.
Oh, okay. Hoochie House. Okay, maybe.
Right.
I don't know. All right. But one thing that white men do everywhere they go is make sure that they run through the black females, and then after they finish with them, they dump them and turn them over to us. Okay?
But what can we do as white
What
people?
can you do? That's the question. Excellent question. Best question in the house. You can go among the white people and start taking those hits that you're going to get. When you start talking the way that you talk and start saying you want them to settle this problem, because that's where it has to be settled. The reason we talk among ourselves is because how many white people like yourself are going to walk in here and fess up?
Well, I think more would, but like a lot of my friends, like if I say, let's go to this black restaurant, they say, oh, they don't want us there or something. And they feel like they'll be looked down on in black, you know.
It depends on what you're there for.
Yeah.
What are you there for? You're going to a black restaurant. You like the food? What do they serve there that you like? Have you ever been to a black restaurant?
Yeah.
Did you eat the food?
Yeah.
What did you eat?
I had blackened salmon.
You had what?
Blackened salmon.
Blackened salmon.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Potatoes and cauliflower.
You can get that where you were, right?
Right.
Of course, that's usually not what black people call, soul food.
Right.
Which is something that'll kill you.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Which is an excellent name for it.
Right.
chitlins, collard greens, something, yeah, black-eyed peas. Black people were fed this on the plantation. You feed them what you feed the horses and cows. Even down and out white people in Appalachia would eat part of that hog, but they call it eating what? High on the hog. Then they take those chitlins, rip them out at the rear end of that pig, throw them out there about the back door into the mud, and here comes Sam, because he ain't had nothing to eat. He'll eat the bark off of a tree. And he gather up them chitlins and put them in a pot and cook them, and over a period of time, he likes them. So even when he and she are wearing fur coats, they'll set up in the fanciest restaurant in New York or Paris and order chitlins, you know, and having all that poison run out of their ears. It's not the healthiest food. So your going to the restaurant is not an improvement either. Correct or incorrect?
Well, I think what you said about talking to other white people is probably the best thing to do, because I do find when I express these views to other white people, they, you know, I think that's more productive than expressing them to black people, because a lot of white people don't.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying, and I'm going to try to wrap this up for this part. That's the point that I'm making. You have to go among the white people. Now, you can have sex with your black mate, but only after white supremacy has been eliminated in all of these areas of activity. Right. If you do it any time before then, you are committing one of the worst crimes on earth, because you have just messed up another black person's mind. Mm-hmm. And that black person becomes fit for nothing. Mm-hmm. That's going to help black people and the people that need help the most on this planet in the long run. Mm-hmm. That's almost a guarantee. Becomes completely devoted to something that's not going to be of help to the people that need help the most. Justice is about helping the people that need help the most.